is more than just entertainment. It's a lens into society, relationships, and human behavior. I'm Grace, and here on The Grace Report, we dive into stories beyond the headlines. Whether it's reality TV drama, celebrity scandals, or royal family intrigue, I'm here to break it all down. What it means, why it matters, and how it reflects the world we live in. Join the conversation, share your take, and let's make sense of the culture shaping our lives one story at a time. TGIF, everybody. Happy Friday. Do you have any plans for the weekend? Tell me everything. So I believe it was in Tuesday or Wednesday's episode of the Morning Report. I had mentioned to you guys that I've been trying to see with my friends, like if we could do our raclette party this weekend, and I was waiting for confirmation, and guess what? I got my confirmation. It's going down this Saturday at my place. Saturday evening, we are going to be enjoying this together. So for those of you who maybe have never heard of it or have never seen it, let me show you. I got some photos as promised. So this is the machine, right? And on the bottom row, you are seeing cheese that is being like cooked to put over the potatoes that you're seeing in the background. There's also meat on the top, other potatoes being heated up. Sometimes you've got what are called cornichons, like mini pickles. There's a salad on the side as well, just to have something to wash it down with, or something, a little bit like non-meat inclusive. So good. I love it. It's definitely something that we do every winter season. We're late on the uptake this year. Typically we start like late October, early November. It's already nearing the end of December, and we have not yet done this collectively. So I'm really thrilled that that is something that we are going to be able to do together tomorrow. Saturday's tomorrow. Isn't that crazy? How the time flies. Good morning to you, Caroline. Caroline, I think you've been here since the first episode of the Morning Report, and it is absolutely incredible that like we've been able to keep this schedule going between the two of us and between everybody else here who's watching. But like it's definitely amazing to be able to recognize those of you who are here like every single time. So thank you so much for consistently joining. That means so much. Hi, Deborah. It's so nice to see you too. Happy Friday. And Kristen, happy Friday to you too. I hope you have an awesome weekend. Thank you. I really do hope that all turns out well. I also told them, guys, please bring some board games, because after raclette, we're going to be all tired. Why not play some games to kind of keep the energy going through the end of the night. Now, speaking, and thank you, Kristen, as well. You've been here like forever for this Monday Morning Report, and Deborah as well. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Now, what you're seeing in front of the screen, oh my God, the bane of my existence, French bureaucracy. I got approved for my visa, and I'm supposed to go pick it up, and I got approved for this almost a month ago, you guys. And so basically what you have to do is you buy what is called un timbre fiscal, which is like proof that you're paying for your visa. And then you go online to the Préfecture de Police website, and then you get an appointment. You try to find one so that you can go and pick up your visa that they approved you for, instead of them just mailing to you, but I digress. So basically it doesn't tell you when the appointments will be available so for the past month. All you can do is go on this website, refresh, hoping to see appointments. So now they're like, okay, the last time we put an appointment up, just so you know, was last week. And it was for January. January is all full. We don't know when the next one's going to be. Good luck. Keep refreshing every day. Nightmare fuel. But listen, thank God I've got the Morning Report and you guys to distract me from the nonsense that is French bureaucracy, okay? Now, let's get into the first story of the day. We've got to talk about Wendy Bedazzled Williams. Here she is on her scooter in sunny Florida for the graduation of her son, Kevin Jr. I think it's great to see her. The last time we saw her, she was in a car. She was looking pretty good there too. But now here she is, like actually active. I think this is the first time that I've ever seen her on a scooter. I don't know if I have missed prior photos or anything like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this not the first time we've seen her in an actual scooter? Like I've seen her in a wheelchair being wheeled out of either an airport or a hospital or her apartment or somewhere, but like a full blown, like this is prescribed to you motorized scooter. I've not seen her in as yet. So that was a little bit surprising to me to see, but otherwise she looked alert. She looked healthy. And most of all, she looked super duper proud of her son. So here's a photo of her in the crowd. And Wendy watchers, faithful loyal viewers of the Wendy Williams show will recognize the man on her, well, our right, her left. That is none other than her father, also there to watch Wendy's son walk across the stage where he graduated from the Florida International University. So it was actually the Stephen J. Green School of International and Public Affairs, by the way. So it seems like he chose a really, really good specialty as well. So congratulations to Kevin Jr. on his graduation. Also, congratulations to Wendy. She, again, is looking great. Let me put back up this photo of her on her scooter outside of the university premises. She's very dressed up. She's got her Birkin. She's got her Chanel No. 5 shoes. She's got her bedazzled jumpsuit. Something about her jumpsuit reminds me of the jumpsuit that Lindsay Lohan wore in Greece, when she was dancing like this. Do you guys remember that video of Lindsay Lohan in the beach club? And she's like, doing like the dance like that. Something about this reminds me of that. I think Lindsay had a version of this, but that was like a peach color more so. So voila, that is a little bit of Wendy news so far. Deborah, don't even get me started, because when I apply from Canada, everything is so quick, so efficient. There's no guessing games or anything like that. But like everything here has to be like difficult. But listen, this is my first multi-year visa, meaning that at the end of this, I'm meaning that I don't have to deal with the administration for the next 4 years. So thank God for that at the very least. And Wendy does look great. Thank goodness that she is now looking a lot better, because there were times where like her, the photos that would be released of her were really, really frightening, to be honest. Like just everything looked really, really bad. But now it looks like she is on the up and up. Though, to be honest with you, and this, I guess we'll call this a mic check moment, mic check 1 2 1 2. How do we feel about her being placed under guardianship? Like, I don't know how to feel about it. I kind of feel like it's weird to me that someone who is unrelated to you can just be appointed from out of the blue to handle your life, your finances, and to control everything for you, rather than like you dealing with this with your family and then them trying to seek I don't know how Wendy even got under this guardianship. I kind of feel like guardianships, as far as celebrities go, they seem to unfairly target women. So I don't know. Let me know. Mic check. Let me know. How do you feel about Wendy being under a guardianship? Just because you've got dementia, or maybe you've got mental illness, or maybe you've got substance abuse, does that mean that you need to be controlled by a random person? I personally do not think so. And I'm a little uncomfortable with all of that, but maybe there is more to it that I'm not privy to at the moment. Allie says it seems a little ridiculous how Wendy was placed in the conservatorship. See, thank you. I don't get it. From what I remember, it was said that her son was a wild spender. He was spending so much money that Wells Fargo, I believe, like they flagged the account. They were like, no. This is Wendy Williams' card being swiped left and right. And it's weird because although Wendy Williams makes a lot of money and she's got the money to support all of this spending, this is not the way that Wendy Williams spends. And then they did an investigation. They found out it was her son, but I'm like, well, if they found out that it's the account holder's son and he was an authorized user, how do you turn around and put the account holder in a conservatorship? I don't get it. I don't get it. Very, very odd. The court system does this and the law gets paid too. This is a money grab. I went through this with my dad and VA hospital. So this really they could just do this out of the blue. Random people that you don't know can just descend from nowhere and control your finances. Jeez, Caroline, were you guys able to get your dad out of the conservatorship? So sorry that happened. Jeez. To be placed in a guardianship of some sort by a bank is ridiculous. I agree 110%. Something about it is extremely off. Listen, not everybody in life is, sober or, addiction free. Not everybody is mentally stable. So the idea that we have to put anybody who, delineates from that under control, something about it just disgusts me. So Caroline says, quick update. Yes. They managed to free her dad from the conservatorship. So yeah, thank God. And thank you for sharing, Caroline. That is absolutely terrifying to hear that it can happen to just everyday people as well. Now we got to talk about some royal news, you guys. Quick question. Those of you who are here in my live chat, how do you feel about the British royal family? I've got a series of rapid fire questions to ask you. And these are just, not even pre planned questions. They're coming up the top of my head. Number one, do you believe that the existence of a British royal family is necessary in this day and age? Number two, do you see them as culturally relevant? And you don't have to answer all these, just answer whatever you want. Number three, do you think that they actually really give back to their country? Like, does their country actually benefit from having them? And number four, do you like them? Do you like the royal family? And to me, royal family includes Meghan and Harry. So I want to know in general, and we could even talk Princess Diana, or has your kind of have your feelings about the royal family sort of evolved over the years? Maybe you loved Diana and Charles. Maybe you loved Charles. Maybe you loved Diana, and then this happened or that happened. Maybe you loved the queen, the real queen. Because, these days they write articles about oh, the queen did this. And I'm like, what do you mean the queen did this? The queen's dead. Oh, you're talking about Camilla? I just call her Camilla. I can't call her the queen. To me, the queen, if you say that, if they say Queen Camilla, okay. But if they say the queen, period, my mind is always going to go to Elizabeth. She's the one on my money. So yeah, maybe you guys like William. Maybe you guys like Harry. Maybe you guys like Kate. Maybe you guys like Meghan. I don't know. Maybe y'all like the corgis. And if y'all like Prince Andrew, I want to talk to you for a minute. Don't be shy. I just want to talk. I'm not going to jump you. Anyway, let's take a look at some of these comments. I want to know how you guys feel about the royal family before we get into this story about them. So just slightly backing up here, Caroline says, my family and I went into full fight mode and that went away. But listen, Caroline, I imagine that cost you guys a pretty penny. Thank God that your father had you guys to fight on his behalf. But I feel so bad that you even had to do that for his own freedom. Hi, Texas Jessica. It is so nice to see you. I hope you're having a great day. Absolutely not. So Deborah doesn't seem to like the royal family. The first colonist family needs to go. No, don't like them. Don't think they do anything. Don't think they give back. Don't think they're relevant. Don't like them. Harry was always my choice. Diana was amazing. The country does not benefit from the royals. I don't think they're necessary anymore. I don't care for any of them. I really think Harry and Meghan had the right idea about service being universal. So listen, and you know what? Another comment just came in, not a fan of the royals. Listen, I'm not surprised. I feel like the royal family is kind of like a thing for maybe people of a particular generation, people of a particular sort of leaning. There are people who are really, really, really traditional and never want to see traditions go away, even if traditions do not really benefit them anymore. I think that there are also people who are a lot older who who grew up under this more so than we did, you know what I mean? When it really was more kind of marketed as more relevant, I don't know. I feel like that might be it, because these days I just don't see it. With the queen, at least for me, I would be, I grew up with her, right? She was always on the money when you pledge allegiance to Canada or whatever, it's to the queen. We really, really, really grew up with her, and she's very much ingrained in our daily lives as Canadians, even just subtly, again, in the exchange of money and whatnot. And you would always see her working. She always had engagements. That woman, even though she had bone cancer, apparently, she was working until the last day of her life. She truly was a worker bee. She worked hard, and she made you think that there was something behind that. You know what I mean? So I would associate her with actually doing things and trying to make a difference of some sort. I don't remember particularly what her initiatives were, but I do know that she was out there shaking hands, greeting dignitaries, everything. But then as she got older, and then as the spotlight started shining on other people, I don't really see them the same. I know that King Charles does a lot of engagements, somewhat, but he's never done more than Princess Anne, I don't think. Princess Anne has always outworked him. And I find that odd. If you're the heir, shouldn't you be working a little bit harder? And then Camilla, she's someone who's just not a likable person at all anyway. And then William and Kate, they don't really work all that hard. Meghan and Harry, they came in, they worked hard, but then they were they had a lot of vitriol that they had to face that they eventually left. So to me, with all of that going on, I lost interest in them as like, I don't know. There's just something, they put a bad taste in my mouth, I'll say. Hi, Rachel. From an American standpoint, I don't really understand their role. I did always admire Diana though, right? Like that's the thing. Like what is the tangible result of having these people? I feel like we don't really have the answer anymore. People say that it's tourism. People want to go to the castles, this and that, but it's not the royals that greet you and open the door and show you around. Like you could still have the castles without them, you know, just like in France, we've got Le Château de Versailles. We've got so many other, Château is castle anyway, right? We've got so many other chateaux, castles, all different countries that don't have royals anymore. So I don't know. I don't know that that is the greatest kind of like explanation anymore, but I digress. Listen, it seems like this family is imploding. And we've got to get into the story. There's a lot of just, you know, mess going on. It didn't stop at quote unquote Megxit. It's continuing. There seems to be some sort of like underlying issue or tension between the office of William and Kate and the office of Charles and Camilla. And the release of William and Kate's family Christmas card might be hinting at that too. So let's get into that after we read some of these comments. Hi, Hamlet's princess. Good morning. Nice to see you. Deborah says the queen was the last royal to me. The monarchy should just end at this point. I agree. I feel like the queen was the last royal to me as well. You know, now that she's gone, it's like, can we stop with the charade at this point? It all seems really silly, to be honest with you. Though I do love a good scandal, and I think that that's why I'm so fascinated by all the news that comes out about them. So let's talk about the Christmas card. Then we'll get into the rift. So William and Kate released a family Christmas card, and this is the Christmas card. It is a screenshot from the cancer commercial video announcement that they shot earlier in the year, frolicking in the woods and whatnot. And first of all, I got to ask you, how do you feel about that? Do you think it was a good choice of photo for the Christmas card or not? I'll tell you personally, I do think it's a wonderful photo. They all look happy. They all look warm and cozy together. And I like how close up the picture is, you know, like it feels like you're in there with them and that you were perhaps the person who took the photo. So I do think that it is objectively a great photo, but it's causing quite a stir on the internet because people are like, well, how lazy is that to just use a screenshot from a video? Why wouldn't you, you know, just use a new photo, do a photo shoot or something like that, as they traditionally do? But I do understand people having that kind of a standpoint. And I think specifically when it comes to photo quality. So when you take a screenshot of a video, because, you know, maybe you like the way you look in this frame or whatever, and then you go to the printer shop and you try to print that out, they're going to tell you, listen, we can print this, but it's not going to be a great photo, quality photo that we print because it's not a real photo. You know, it's a still from a video. So I do understand from that standpoint. And I do also understand that it has been a little bit odd, all of the photo scandals of the family this year. So maybe this time they're saying, listen, with all of the AI scandals and everything else we had going on, let's use this. Everyone can say that we were all here together. We're not going to be accused of AI, photoshopping, or anything like that. Then let's call it a day. So I do understand why they went ahead and just released this one. Kate, you're making me laugh with this comment. Why waste more British taxpayer money on photo shoots? Well, listen, Kate has always claimed to be the family photographer. She could have put that, maybe even an iPhone. You know, I'm sure she got the latest iPhone on a tripod stand, put the timer, ran and posed for that picture with the kids. Listen, I'm with you. I don't mind this photo, to be honest with you. I think it's an objectively nice photo of the family. So now let's get into how this photo can potentially signify that there is a rift between the dueling press houses. Okay. So the photo of Will, Kate, and the children was released on the same day as the announcement and the annual Christmas brunch lunch that is hosted by King Charles. It's not him who launched the initiative. It was Queen Elizabeth who always hosted this. And King Charles, ever since Elizabeth passed, and even just before, he has been hosting this. And now people are saying, well, that's so crazy. They had all this time to release their Christmas photograph, their Christmas card. Everybody's been looking for it. Everybody's been waiting for it. And they chose this moment to release it when the spotlight would be on King Charles and the Christmas lunch. So not only do they release this photo of their family and stuff to take over the headlines, because of course there were a lot of articles written about it, understandably, they decide to also announce on the same day that they are not going to be going to King Charles's lunch the day of. And so that too becomes the main story. So perhaps people forget independently that there is a lunch. It's still going on. There will be other people there. Instead, people are talking about the card and the fact that William and Kate are not there. So I'm wondering how you guys feel about this. Are people grasping at straws, or do you think that there's really something to it? I know that there was also some kind of scandal about Kate's recent Christmas concert. I know that she did not want Prince Andrew there, understandably so. Mind you, Prince Andrew is also not welcome to the family Christmas lunch. Also, Camilla was not there for the Christmas Carol. People are saying specifically there's something going on between Kate and Camilla. I got to read more into it. Perhaps that's something I'll do over the weekend, because I really want to know where all of this is coming from and how long it stems from. So Deborah says William and Kate couldn't post anything else. They did nothing the rest of the year. They don't do anything. Well, that's the thing that a lot of people are wondering. Y'all were at home all year long, and you could even make like a simple new photo, like, family photos or something. Charles and Camilla, they released their card a long while ago. They didn't have a new photo either, but it was like a proper photo that had been taken of them during an engagement. Hamlet says, I personally think that their marriage is on the rocks. There may even be a DV situation, which would explain a lot. I agree. I definitely think that the marriage, to me, I think it's been over for quite some time. You could just see a lot of coldness between the two of them, a lot of distance between the two of them. And maybe that's why they couldn't just pose for a simple photo. Even when they were out there doing the video shoot and everything like that they used for their Christmas card, I feel like they could have packed a change of clothes and in those same woods gone ahead and taken photos with their different clothes and used that as their Christmas photo. But listen, maybe this is one of those cases where it's like they don't want to be around each other any longer than they have to. And maybe this video took long enough. I don't know, but there's something going on there. I definitely think that where there's smoke, there's fire when it comes to the two of these. Is it necessarily the story that's being told about Rose Hanbury? No, not necessarily, but maybe that is kind of like, a flying squirrel distraction for something else. Maybe there's something else there. I don't know. But yeah, I to be honest with you as well, Hamlet's princess and everybody else watching, I believe the story is that they don't even live together either. I'm pretty sure the story has been also that Charles and Camilla don't live together. I could believe that too. And I can also believe that William and Kate do not live together. How do you guys feel about those rumors? Do you think that their marriage is on the rocks? Do you think they still live together? What's been going on this year? Because their stories have just not been adding up. They really haven't. Good morning, Ashley. It is so nice to see you here. And your dog looks so stinking cute. Oh my God, the cuddles I could give to your dog. Kate says probably distancing themselves because King Charles keeps getting booed in places like New Zealand. Oh, I saw that video. I saw a video of William getting booed too. So maybe they were scared of the collective boos that they could gain. Listen, the Not My King movement really has been picking up steam. People are sick and tired. In my opinion, I got to be honest with you guys, in a country where there is a homeless crisis, people cannot afford to heat their homes and stuff like that, to have royalty in your country is ridiculous. I got to be honest. And I saw this report on how people in certain countries are living. So I don't know if you guys are aware, for example, in Saudi Arabia or Qatar, like they really heavily subsidize homes for people to live in. They will even give food. If there's a surplus, they will give it back to the community. If your children want to go study abroad, they will help pay for their university so they study abroad, all sorts of things, where they really are trying to have their people live well and move forward. So to me, these places having royalty, it makes sense. The people are living well. But then when you look at England and stuff like that, and I'm not saying that everybody in England is not living well, absolutely not. But when you look at the fact that there are so many people struggling and you see these people who don't really do anything to help or anything like that or move the needle, and you see them just be given all this money, and then you've got Prince Andrew over there fraternizing with Chinese spies to what do you call it? potentially, allegedly embezzle more money or something like that. It just doesn't make sense. I don't think there should be royalty in any country where homelessness exists, where poverty exists. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. It really, really is. Now, Deborah says William and Kate are only motivated to do something when Harry and Meghan does. I gotta agree with that too. A lot of people said, listen, Meghan and Harry dropped their Christmas card. Just wait, within 24 to 48 hours, Will and Kate will drop theirs too. And look what they did. They went home, they screenshotted that video and said, here you go. Here you go. No effort put into it at all. I wouldn't doubt it. Yep. I absolutely agree. They all live separate lives. Luce Cannon says, I think that says a lot about British intellect to not only have royalty, but actually look up to it. I feel like it's the tradition, like, it's so drilled into you and into them, not you particularly, but like into you as an individual. When you grow up there, like that you have to accept it, that this is the way it is, that this. And so I think that is what the kind of like the spell that they're under, because I went through it to a lesser degree as a Canadian, as part of the Commonwealth, like, having the Queen and the royal family kind of plastered everywhere. When William and Kate were getting married, us as part of the Commonwealth, like we were watching that in school and stuff like that, because it was like a big day for us or something like that. Like you really are growing up thinking like, oh my God, these people, like they're important. We need them and stuff. And it's honestly, it's ridiculous. It really, really is. Having a royal family when the country and its people struggle. Yes, it's disrespectful. They are really, truly taking the piss. And the fact is that these same people who are struggling, El Michelle and everybody else watching, a lot of them are the same ones that are like, yes, we need royalty. Like we could never survive without royalty. Like I'm telling you, some of the biggest bootlickers are people that, should probably be fighting against this stuff. Went too far. I didn't mean bash a whole country. No worries. I totally understand. I totally understood where you were coming from. It's a big kind of like brainwashing that happens within, England and within the Commonwealth as well. And I think a lot of people for nostalgia or, traditionalist sake really do hold them dear for those reasons and purposes, which, I get when it comes to the Queen, but the rest of them, like, I'm sorry, but they're not worth it. Like, what do they really do? Like, I just don't. Anyway, so that is the story basically about what is going on there. And by the way, their excuse for not showing up to the Christmas lunch is that they are already at their cottage in Anmer, called Anmer Hall in Norfolk for the holidays. So that is the reason why they are not showing up. I gotta say, King Charles, his reign is just not looking good. He is on the outs with both of his kids. He's got no one by his side, for this Christmas lunch. And it's just, how do you have a king like that? He can't even rule over his family. He can't even maintain a nice relationship with his kids, with his family. And we're supposed to trust him to look over England and the rest of the Commonwealth. It's just not a good look. It's not. He doesn't keep things together the way that Elizabeth kept things together. And yeah, honestly, not a fan. I gotta say, I'm not a fan of him. Now, you know who I am a fan of, who has now become very controversial? Will Smith. Guys, have we forgiven Will Smith for the slap? Yes or no? Let me know. This is a mic check. Do you still like him? Was it just a momentary lapse in judgment, or did it completely change your view of him? Let me tell you one thing about Will Smith and that slap. I've got a story about him that I'm going to share with you. But before we get into that, before I hear anything about the slap, let me tell you, how crazy is it to you that when Will Smith got up there on the Oscar stage and slapped Chris Rock in the face for disrespecting his wife, all these celebrities went out talking about, oh my God, this is terrible, so unsafe. They were just condemning him like he did something terrible. Meanwhile, you've got like people who are actually genuinely doing terrible things in the world, and they're not out here speaking out against it. Everyone is so quiet about Diddy now. The only things they'll say is, I don't know him. I hung out around him for like 30 years, but it's not like we're friends like that. Like they deny that they know him, but they will not go out and say, oh my God, I am horrified. When that video, and let me pull out a still from it. When that video of Diddy beating up Cassie came out, how many celebrities went online and said, wow, that is horrific. Shame on him. Shame on this. Shame on that. None of them. You're seeing all these terrible things go on in the world, full-blown neighborhoods bombed by the day for no reason. Are celebrities going online to speak out against that? No. All they want to speak against is a slap in the face. And I'm sorry, but I find that to be so stupid. I do. It's ridiculous. It's just such performative, virtue signaling. And I can't. Now I'm seeing some of you guys' real comments trickle in. I just have to remind you guys, by the way, that there is a little bit of a delay between the comments you leave and them reaching me. So that's why sometimes I reach back a little bit to see some of the comments you guys left about a prior story as I move on to the next one. So just a little bit of an FYI, I am going to go ahead and put some of them up here. And Ali says, Will Smith has been forgiven since day one. Honestly, same. If I were Jada, I'd be so proud. Listen, I would have put it down on him that night. Really, a man is coming up here disrespecting me and you go and you shut that down. I don't see the problem personally. I don't. Will is forgiven for me. I kind of didn't mind Chris getting hit. And you know what the craziest thing about it? There was an expose on how long Chris Rock had been making these weird snide little jokes about Jada Smith over the years. And that's not even the worst part. When Will Smith slaps Chris Rock in the face, Chris Rock goes and he does some kind of a Netflix special, right? To talk about it and then to just be a big F you. Where does he shoot his special? Like the true Jada Pinkett Smith stalker that he is, he goes and shoots it in why am I confusing it? Was it Baltimore, Maryland, or somewhere in Missouri? He goes and shoots it in Jada Pinkett's hometown. So I'm sorry, but when you go and do that, you got slapped by Will, but you're taking it out on Jada. What is your fixation with this woman? Will, whack him again, because what is that? Absolute mess. I can't. Now, Luce says he's been a douche for decades. No difference of opinion, pre, post slap, MDS. I love that. That is hilarious. I was never mad at Will. I almost feel bad for him for being so in love with a woman who doesn't love him. Oh, now that's a story for another day. Lord have mercy. That entanglement, the entanglement of it all. Don't be sorry. It's true. And she's talking to you, Luce, by the way. Almost talking to you. Hi, Capone. Nice to see you. Caroline says, can't stand Chris Rock. Listen, I used to love him. I used to find him so funny. But after that, no, I can't stand him either. Boosie says, we're living through several genocides and predators being exposed, but people are still holding. Yes. Thank you. This is the thing that I don't understand. All these people had so much to say about an inconsequential Oscar slap. But when it comes to genocide, when it comes to predators, when it comes to Diddy, knocking the hell out of his girlfriend and that being exposed, quiet as a church mouse. Sorry, but these people are so fake. They're so fake. I can't. Remember when Notre Dame burnt down in Paris, all the billionaires sending all the money here, all the celebrities crying about how they visited one time on vacation. And then look at entire countries, villages being flattened and they've got nothing to say. People dying, classrooms of children, nothing to say. I'm sorry, but I think they're a joke. I think Hollywood is a joke. I really do. As much as I love to talk about them, I think they're a joke and I think they're fake AF. So let's get into Will Smith and what he's got going on right now. So he actually recently became the latest celebrity to distance himself from P. Diddy. And I'm not surprised. For some reason, people keep bringing up his name in the whole P. Diddy kind of scandal. And I don't understand why, because I never really associated the two of them at all. But yeah, he's like, listen, I got to get on here. I've got to say my piece and tell you guys, and I quote, I don't have SHIT to do with Puffy, so y'all could stop with all the memes. I've never been to a freak off. I've got enough of my own drama without being dragged into someone else's. So listen, can I ask you guys in the chat, were any of you guys linking Will Smith to the freak offs or anything like that? Because I had heard some rumblings, but I never really saw anything kind of convincing that would tie the two of them. I get the Jay-Z stuff because they're both in the music industry and you see several photos of them together at all these parties and stuff like that, as if they really truly know each other and get along like that. But when it comes to Will Smith, I just never saw it between the two of them. Okay. So I don't know, but he's letting y'all know, listen, I got enough drama. My wife and her entanglements, myself and my entanglements, because that's the thing a lot of people forget, actually. It's that Will Smith was cheating on Jada too. He was dipping outside of that marriage himself. In fact, wasn't his most famous alleged mistress none other than Barbie, Margot Robbie? Don't you guys remember those rumors? because I remember those rumors. And I believe there was someone else. I believe that, correct me if I'm wrong, but Eva Mendes was also a rumor to be someone as well. I don't know. I don't know. Just saying. Just saying. And by the way, good morning to you too, Corey. It is so nice to have you here. Let me see. As he should. Absolutely. Maya says abolish the monarchy. I am right there with you. Capone says, I disagree. Battery takes a whole lot to consider before acting. Baltimore, thank you so much. Yes, that's the place. Okay, listen, you guys don't seem to really connect him to P. Diddy. Like, I feel like ever since all the P. Diddy stuff came out, a lot of people have just been trying their best to tie any Black man in Hollywood to him. And I feel like there's something a little bit off about that. I don't know the word for it, but there's something a little off. If someone's got the word for it, let me know in the chat, okay? But in the meantime, we've got a word from our sponsors that I want to share. The Morning Report is brought to you by Philo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video to get your free trial up and running. Are you looking for the perfect skincare products for women over 30? Look no further than Rothia. Rothia is a skincare brand born from love and made for parents. Their flagship product, the Resilience Cream, delivers clinically proven age prevention benefits such as average 14% wrinkle reduction after 4 weeks of use. Click the link below and receive 30% off your first purchase today. Comment from that I want to flag. I saw it during the commercial break. Let me go ahead and put it up here. So says, I did hear people desperately trying to link different African-American celebrities to it, though, and suspiciously leaving out other non-African-American celebrities he's actually tied to, like Ashton Kutcher, Cameron Diaz. Thank you. See, here's the thing. Diddy and Ashton have both been very, very public over decades about how close of a relationship the two of them have. You know, we know that Diddy and Jay-Z were friends and they were friendly, but they've never had the whole we're besties, blah, blah, blah thing going on the way that he had with Ashton Kutcher. And although some people have been mentioning Ashton Kutcher here and there, it has not been on the same level as it has been with Jay-Z. There's a random Will Smith thing that I personally don't think makes sense. Just other things like that. I don't know. There's something off about it. I thought the initial link was Jada and Tupac, but I think it's because of the rumors about his extracurriculars. He said he was bi. Oh, now that I can get, because I think that comes with Meek Mill as well. The rumor has it that Meek Mill was hooking up with Diddy and that Diddy was throwing him birthday parties because he was his boyfriend or something like that, you know? So, and the Meek Mill rumors, by the way, they run a lot deeper than Diddy. Isn't he supposedly like a sugar baby of some kind of billionaire or in the music industry or something like that? There's a lot of mess going on with Meek Mill. That would take a lot of research to get to the bottom of. I will tell you that much. Now, guys, why don't we get into the Kardashian of it all? First of all, before I even do this story, I will tell you it's going to be about Khloe and Kourtney, as you can see from the title. But I want to ask you, have you noticed that the Kardashians have not been all that relevant this year? And this is the year where that truly is the case. People have been saying this forever, since 2014. Oh my God, they're fading out of relevance. No one cares. No one talks, but it was never true. They would always be in every single news cycle. You know, there would always be a hard-hitting story where you're like, oh my God, there's something going on. They're linked to someone. They're doing this, they're doing that. But this year, yeah, they're continuing to build businesses and they're successful, which I think is amazing for them. But in terms of them and the things that they do being all that big and interesting, it's just not the case. And I'll give you a good example of that. When they did the Met Gala this year, what did Kimberly do? She showed up in the tightest corset she could find, squeezing her intestines, squeezing her heart, squeezing her lungs, squeezing her ribs, squeezing everything. No one cared. People were like, listen, girl, you've been doing this for decades. We're tired. Move on. We're no longer on this extreme caricature of a female body stuff anymore. You know, the new Gen Z, I think they're called. I'm joking. Gen Z, they're all about comfortable, cool, effortless, kind of stuff. So like the stunts that they even pull on the red carpet are just not hitting the way that they used to hit, and I wouldn't even consider myself a hater of the family or anything like that, but I'm just someone who's like, okay, listen, because my job is to follow celebrities and what's going on, what people are talking about. I will say that this is the first time we started seeing a little bit of it last year, but there was still a lot of scandal going on with them. But this year, there's not really much. I can't think of a single, major moment coming out of them, and Michelle, I do agree with you. I think it might have to do with the whole Hulu stuff. We're streaming platform tired, y'all. There's just too much out there. We're supposed to have every single streaming platform. And this is why, for me personally, I have 3 streaming platforms. Philo, right? They've got WeTV, they've got MTV, they've got Lifetime, and Lifetime is so hard for me to get internationally, and WeTV as well. So I'm so happy to have that. I use that. I use Hulu, not Hulu, Hayu. I use Hayu as well. And I use Netflix. I can't go and get what is the thing? The Rooster, Peacock. I can't go and get the Disney. I had Disney for a bit, then I got, it's just too much. And I think that this has to do with it. When they were on E, it's like, listen, everybody has E. E is on every package or whatever. So it's a lot easier, even if you're not actively looking for it, it's easier to have it, at your disposal. But now it's on some random streaming platform. And on top of that, it is overproduced. The amount of filters that they slap on those people, it's also ridiculous. I think we're tired of perfection now. We want people to look and be and seem real, it's out, and I don't think it's anything against them. I think it's incredible that they've managed to be relevant for this long, but I think this is it, and I feel like that's why they're pushing the children on us. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I hate how visible their children are. I don't like it. In fact, I will tell you, there's this girl, I was just watching her on TikTok. It's some girl on TikTok France. And so she was going to the police to file a complaint because this person had been leaving really, really terrible, nasty comments about her daughter on social media. It's just a baby. And her baby looks like any other baby. She's just, regular baby. And this person had just been saying really terrible things. And I don't know why they were targeting her, but she went to the police, and I'm like, there's a really good solution to stop your child who didn't even consent to being plastered online from being targeted. Take your child off the internet. What is this? You know what I mean? What? You don't need to post videos of your child every single day. And that's the thing with the Kardashians too, with the next gen. They keep pushing them on us. And I find that to be very sad for the kids and very strange on their part. They're supposedly all billionaires, super rich, super this, super that. Yet the way that they act, and they're pushing brand deals on these kids and stuff like that. It's weird. It's weird. They could really, really protect these kids, their safety and everything like that, but they choose not to. And I don't know. I don't love it. I find it weird. Exactly. What was that gray sweater? It was so lame. It was lame. We're tired. We've seen you, strangle yourself with corsets so many times, Kim. We're over it. We're over it. We know you've got the hips. We know you've got the bust. We know you've got the butt. What now? What now? And the 20-year law school, non-law school thing, we're bored. We're bored. Okay. Anyway, guys, so sorry. I've gone on a massive, massive tangent there. Yes, Capone, I'm Canadian, though I do live in France. And I've been here for going on 5 years now, 5 years as of the 4th of January. So let's get into our Kardashian story, shall we? Khloe and Kourtney are beefing. Yup. And this is a story, this is a scoop coming from In Touch magazine. Basically what happened is that Khloe gave an interview to a magazine called Bustle Magazine, talking about the people that really help her in life and that she really values, that she's really close to and everything like that. Let me read you her direct quote. "The world is so dark and so heavy, but I will say my sister Kim has really held my hand through so many dark phases for me, and my mom. But Kim has really been this crusader for me. I feel like she's always been holding that light at the end of the tunnel, drawing me closer to the light. I'm just really grateful for that relationship. When people see things in you that you can't see in yourself, and they keep reminding you it's such a special quality, we all need those champions. And I think with Rob, I identify with him so much. I feel so deeply what he feels, the struggles that he has, or just wanting to be out of the public eye, or just feeling like he doesn't fit in or is being judged about his appearance. And then she says, listen, Kim and Kourtney, they're super close, but I feel like I was paired with Rob as a kid. I feel like we were raised in pairs. It was Kourtney and Kim, and then it was me and Rob, and then Kendall and Kylie. And I just feel like we were both each other's protectors. I love him so much. It's just so innate. So there you go. She talks about, like, you know, her ride or dies, and they are Kimberly, they are Chris, and they are Rob. So Kendall and Kylie are not mentioned, I think, because listen, they're so much younger than her. She's not going to go really turn to them for like the heavy stuff the way that she would with her age mates. You know what I mean? And I do also think perhaps, like, you know, she, Kim, Kourtney and Rob, like, they were the four, you know, they were the foursome for a very long time. They shared the same parents and everything. So that's a different bond, you know, than the bond that she has with the other two. So she really, really, you know, she left Kim out of that. And so, she left Kourtney out of that. And a lot of people are now wondering, what's going on? Is there beef? And she made it clear, listen, Kourtney, that's Kim's friend. My friend is Robert. How do y'all feel about that? Do you think there's really something going on? And listen, you're not going to hurt my feelings, okay? Do you care? That's another question, because listen, we're talking about whether or not, like, they're still culturally relevant, right? Do we care? Is this a thing? Do you think this is planted, or do you think it's real? Let me know. HM Gem, they're always beefing, right? And that's what makes me wonder, is this like a planted story? Because they're always trying to be either linked to somebody or linked to some kind of like dispute, right? El Michelle says, Kourtney doesn't care, but she's going to act like they care. Absolutely. I think that Kourtney, like, she got lost in her relationship with Travis. As soon as he came around, it's like nothing else existed in the world. And that is her new priority. Everyone says, I double majored in French. France has always been a dream of mine. J'espère que vous pourrez lire ceci. Merci pour everything. Avec grand plaisir. Et j'espère qu'un jour, tu peux venir ici visiter le pays. Gros bisous. Is it because she chose Scott? Yes. Thank you for that, Boosie. I gotta say, by the way, Boosie, you've been on point. You have been on point. You and I gotta tell you guys, you've been on point. So that is one thing. So these are some of the theories as to why they are beefing. Number one is that Khloe is really close with Scott Disick. Scott Disick is, of course, Kourtney Kardashian's first baby daddy. And Kourtney doesn't appreciate that. She's been asking her family to kind of distance himself from him and, you know, choose her side a little bit, because he has been crossing her boundaries a little bit too much and playing the victim a little bit too much, and it's interfering in her marriage. She doesn't like it. But Khloe, she loves Scott so much, so she hasn't been able to back off from him. And there's another reason, actually, and it's the fact that potentially, it's a potential reason, by the way, that Khloe took took Kim's side in the fight between Kourtney and Kim. Do you remember when Kourtney and Kim were fighting? Kim was saying that Kourtney is the least interesting to look like, and then Kourtney went and punched Kim in the face and everything like that. Apparently, behind the scenes, Khloe took Kim's side, and so based on that and Khloe's relationship with Scott, she's just not feeling it. She's not feeling it. And listen, I get it. Sometimes you drift away from people, you know, it's not that you don't like them or anything like that. It's like, listen, I don't have the energy. I don't have the bandwidth. Like, I'll see you when I see you. I won't when I won't. I won't miss you. I won't, you know, it's just what it is, kind of a thing. No, Scott only has children by Kourtney, though Kourtney has children now by Scott and by Travis. I just knew Kourtney was going to have another child with Travis too. No shade, but almost like have proof the relationship existed, like if it ever didn't work out. Listen, honestly, yeah, like it felt like she was giving like first boyfriend ever energy. You know what I mean? And to your point, Kate, if the kids don't like Travis, Aunt Khloe doesn't like Travis either. Yeah, like the kids, I think it was Mason, had gone on Instagram or something like that saying, hey, like Khloe, ever since she got with Travis, it's kind of like she forgot about us or something like that. So I definitely can see that being something there. Jam, oh my God, try refreshing. So sorry, what is going on? What is going on? And thank you so much. That is so sweet. You guys, if you're enjoying the stream so far, please do make sure to give it a thumbs up. Let YouTube know that you like my content and you want to continue to see my videos surfaced to you on your homepage. Or if you have the notifications, that they continue popping up in your screen, in your email, wherever they might be. Okay. We do actually have one final story right now, and it is about Jeannie Mai. Jeannie Mai and Jeezy. Oh my God. This relationship, the amount of legal drama coming from this relationship that lasted a whopping 5 minutes is just insane. I don't understand why they did this or why they're behaving this way. Like, I feel like there's not enough feelings involved in this 5-minute relationship for them to be fighting like they were married for 20 years. You know, I'm tired of them. I'm tired of them and their games. Oh, and I used to watch that show, by the way, Capone. I don't know what it's called, but Travis and Shayna, they had that reality show. Oh, I was tuned in, clocked in on the E Network. Now, let me pull up a photo of Jeannie and Jeezy in case some of you might not know them. So he's a rapper and she is a talk show host, and she's actually just a general host in general, a fashion person. You know, when I first saw Jeannie, it was in that E show called How Do I Look? We loved that. I used to watch that all the time with my mom. We loved it. And then she got onto The Real, which was really, really cool too. Jeezy, I only know him from that song. Was it that him? We Fly High, no lie, you know it. And then I know he did My President is Black, My Lambo's Blue. That's all I know him from too. So anyway, the two of them, they got together, got married very quickly after, then got divorced even quicker after that. And it has just been an entire mess ever since. Accusations are flying around on both sides of the aisle. Jeannie says that Jeezy is a dangerous person. She says that he walks around with with weapons and whatnot, and that she wants to have kind of like sole custody of the child to ensure their child, and their child's name, by the way, is Monica Mai Jenkins. She wants to ensure the safety by keeping her away from Jeezy, all sorts of things. And then Jeezy says that she's manipulative, she's crazy. It's a mess. It's very ugly, and I feel terribly for their child in the midst of all of this. So basically, what they're beefing about now is the fact that Jeannie says she still has some personal items that she needs to retrieve from their former marital home. So they had this home together, and now it's only Jeezy living in there. And she's like, listen, my Emmy Award is in there and all sorts of other stuff. And when I heard, listen, here's my thing. When I heard that she had things in this house, I was like, oh, wow, like that sucks. Like, I imagine that took a long time. But then when she said my Emmy Award, I was like, girl, you left that. That would have been one of the first thing I brought home. An Emmy Award. Like, she has one of those. That's incredible, you know? Like, wouldn't you take that before like clothes and stuff like that? Like, especially when you're like an influencer or whatever, where people are constantly sending you clothes. Like, I found that to be very odd, to be honest with you. It's almost like, you know, when you go to a guy's house and you like the guy and you leave like your lipstick or something like that, you go, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I forgot lipstick at your house. It looks like I'm gonna have to come back to your house and get it, you know? Like, that's the vibe I'm getting there. She's like, let me leave something super duper important. So anyway, that's what she says. She's got to go back there, get the thing. And Jeezy's saying, you know what, Jeannie, okay, you can come back to my home. This comment. You can come back to my home, but you must be under supervision. I will not have you in these premises. And you're right, Tiffany. I do think that has something to play. I will not have you here without supervision, because the last time that you came to my house, what did you do? You got into my security cameras. You downloaded footage of me minding my own business in my home with my gun, doing a security check, and then you used it to try to take my daughter away from me. So based off that, I want the judge to block you from being able to come here without someone of my choosing accompanying you, to make sure that you are not going to go through all of my things and try to ruin my name, try to limit the amount of time that I have with my daughter again. Do you guys think it's fair? I personally think it's fair. If what he's saying is true, that Jeannie did, I don't see why not. I would have the same kind of like, you know, stipulations as well if I were in his position. However, Jeannie, she's pissed. She said, "Oh my God, Jeezy, how dare you? This is humiliating. This was our former marital home, and you're telling me I can't just come in there?" Mm, mm-mm. But here's the thing: your former marital home, you are not married anymore. Perhaps he's got new women or something like that. And, the place, the energy, everything has completely changed since you left. It's no longer yours. So no, you can't just waltz in here like we're still married. I just, no, I'm with Cheesy on this. Whose side are you guys on? Are you Team Jeannie or are you Team Jeezy? And you know what? Jeezy also even said, actually, and if she doesn't like that, you know what else we can do? I could pack up her little award, her little trophy, and everything else and leave it on the porch. What about that? Not on the porch. I'm exaggerating, Grace. You got to stop exaggerating. And just leave it, have it ready for her when she comes here. That way we save both of our time. Is he being reasonable or no? Jeannie's saying he's not being reasonable, but I think it's pretty reasonable, I gotta say. Okay. Lou says, I love it. It's my favorite songs. Yeah, I didn't see this lasting long. Okay, I vaguely remember this song. I know that I had a friend who really liked it, but I don't really remember it too much. No, I'm thinking of August Alsina. Man, I love this ish. Man, I love. No, I gotta look that up, Luce. Thank you, girl. Oh, thank you so much. I saw your comment earlier. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so Shem says, I didn't think they would make it either. And I never forgot her dark meat on the side comment on the rail. The way she was so proud of herself. Like she said something amazing. Like that was wild. And the fact that like she found a black man to go ahead and marry her and have a kid with her after that. Incredible. Incredible. Almasal says, there is UPS, FedEx, UPS. Please ship it, take it to the store. They will wrap it up and send it. I agree. And he's proposing that. He said, listen, we can always do it that way. If you don't want to be accompanied here, we can always do it that way. Okay. And now what is this about a CPAP? I saw Caroline responding to a comment about a CPAP. I'm trying to see. Let me see where the CPAP thing. Okay, so the CPAP comes from Capone. I watched Foodie Beauty. She once left her CPAP at a guy's house. Did she do it on purpose? Because I like this girl. That is absolutely hilarious. So look, so it looks like you guys are hilarious. It looks like you guys are firmly Team Jeezy when it comes to this situation. And listen, I feel like we'd all feel the same. I would not want like my ex coming to my home unaccompanied, looking through things. How do I know he's not here to smell my panties or something? Like you don't know. Guys are weird. People are weird. And if she already did the thing he said she did, where she's like, looking for evidence to try and ruin his life, like, yeah, like, no, be weary, be weary. Kate says, any ex of mine would be getting their stuff porch pickup style or with the police escort, regardless of what happened. This is my space. Period. I'm on team. They got it well. I'm sure they've both done things to each other. I don't know. And I agree. I don't think anyone is innocent in this situation. I think they're both a mess because don't forget, Jeezy once beat the brakes off his son. He beat his son through a glass shower door. Like, he got arrested for this. Like he's not a great person either. She's never coming back. Nope, as she shouldn't. She was a grown woman when she made this comment. She was a grown woman. She wasn't like a teenager or like, early 20s. She was 40 something speaking like that. She became a baby, miss submit to my man. Look where that got her. Look where that got her. All the dog whistles that she was out here, throwing. Look where that got her, right? You guys, thank you all so much for joining me. This is the first full week we've done of the morning report. Wow. What a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful concept, honestly. Like, I'm so happy that we are able to do this every single morning. Well, every weekday morning, I should say. So just as a reminder, if this is your first time joining me for the morning report, I go live every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to discuss the day's hot topics. Just as an FYI in advance, I will not be going live on Christmas Day, but I will be live on Christmas Eve. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I'm recognizing so many of your names now. It's so nice to see you guys like constantly here. Capone, Caroline, there's someone else here. Allie's been here since the very beginning as well. Hang on, I'm missing someone. And she wears the hat and she left a couple of, Kate's been here since the beginning as well. Yes, I saw her name up here. Sorry. What's your name? You wear the hat. You wear the hat in your icon. I can't find you. Hamlet's Princess as well. I can't find your name, Kristen as well. So thank you all so much for being here from the beginning. Jaleesa, Rachel, you guys are all super duper amazing. I really love chatting with you, and everybody else who is new and who is coming to join us, as the days and the episodes progress. Thank you so much for being here. I'm looking forward to chatting with you again on Monday. And keep an eye out for the community tab in the videos, okay? Because the community tab is where I'm going to start kind of like crowdsourcing whatever it is that you guys want to talk about. Oh, your name was Shemjen. Shout out to you, Shemjen, Ali, and everybody else as well. Keep an eye out. And if there's like a story that you want me to cover, don't hesitate to reach out to me on Twitter or to keep an eye out for the community tab, where I will be asking you guys what it is that you want to see spoken about in the day's morning report, okay? Take good care of yourselves. Happy holidays, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.